It's broken. Like you just sink to the bottom. It didn't used to be see. Like it's so weird because like normally I'll be like somewhere in the middle and it's just gotten worse and worse and now it's dropped to the bottom. I don't know really what happened, but so since I'm a little bit lower than normal, we'll go ahead and get started today, ladies. So first and foremost, thank you obviously for your time. I appreciate you being here. I know being this close to the holidays, it's not always easy. So thank you guys for being here. What we're gonna do today is we're just gonna go through kwbresources.com. There we go. I can even see the screen from this like low down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through kwbresources.com. This is going to be the website that I normally share with you guys when we meet to onboard. And it really just holds a lot of the information that we think is most relevant to you as a brand new agent. So I want to make sure you guys obviously know where to find a lot of the information you will eventually be looking for if you're not already. And then at the very end, I may take a couple additional moments of your time. I'm going to show you guys something that you can do through a different website. It's called mykw.kw.com, and it allows you guys to do office email blasts so that you can reach everyone and in one go rather than having to individually reach out to everybody. So that'll be another really easy tactic for you guys to implement into your businesses as necessary. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. When you arrive at kwbresources.com, this is the homepage that you'll land on. The first thing I'm going to show you guys today is actually going to be this new agent tab. So when you select the new agent tab, you'll see here it opens up into a different page. And this is really just kind of a hub of the information we think is, again, most relevant to you when you're first getting started. So on the left-hand side, if you were to select the Learn More button here, it's really just going to break down the onboarding process, what to expect during onboarding, what materials and documents you'll be asked to provide. It goes through who you can be expecting to hear from and at what point in time, which both of you thankfully are completely through your onboarding. So you are all set with that. But there are some things that you guys can begin doing immediately, which the first is obviously navigating through KWB resources. We'll do that together today. Another on here is to start attending office meetings, which obviously you guys are doing a great job with. So thank you. And then joining Ignite as well is something else that we highly encourage you guys to do. For those of you who don't know, Ignite is a 20 session program, Monday through Friday, and it actually is really helpful in building the foundation for your real estate career. It's actually encouraged that agents who are averaging under 16 transactions a year participate in Ignite. So keep that in mind. We will be bringing Ignite back at the start of the new year. It's going to come back to the office on January 8th is going to be our first launch date. And you'll be able to see all that when we get to the training calendar in a little bit here. But we always joke because Ignite is basically everything you thought you would learn in real estate school, like how to be a realtor rather than just the legal stuff that you probably didn't think you were going to learn so much of. So we will go through a little bit more of that in just a moment. There's also 2 Facebook pages that I'll be sharing with you both that I think are very helpful to be part of. And then registering your car with Torrington Preferred Parking would be the last thing on this checklist. So hopefully we will be seeing you ladies on a regular basis, in which case what I recommend is registering your vehicle with Torrington Preferred Parking. There's a link right here at the bottom of this page. If you click on it, it will take you directly to the website you need to go to register your vehicle. This is free for you to do, and all it does is just allow them to know you'll be here on a regular basis. So you guys would never have to worry about anything happening where you parking your vehicle. We do have technically designated parking areas, which is why we have such a prevalence on this pass. So please go ahead and set that up. It's a quick and easy login process. You'll create a sign up right away. It'll ask you what building we're in, and that's building 2, but you can kind of tell by the wonky kind of elbow to this building. And then it'll ask you who you're with. You'll say Keller Williams, but you can register up to 3 vehicles using this particular permit. So if you have roommates, parents, kids, spouses, anybody whose vehicle you may be driving one day, if yours is in the shop, it cannot hurt to register those vehicles as well, just so it's one less thing to worry about later. So I will close out of that. So again, that was all just into that first getting started button. On the right-hand side here under basic training, if you were to select the learn more button, this is actually going to take you to Scott Leroy Marketing's website. So Scott Leroy Marketing is who created all of your KW technology. They got you your email address, your website, and they really made sure that you've got a strong start with everything technology through KW. But Scott Leroy Marketing's support does not just end at that point in time. They are a resource for you guys to use anytime that you would need to. They are a phenomenal tech resource here in the office. They're physically not in the office, but one that's here to support you in addition to our wonderful tech coordinators. When you go to Scott Leroy Marketing's website, and only because we land on it, I'm just going to touch a couple key things that I think are very important on the page. The first thing is that you can search just about anything on this website. Very, very easy to navigate. But if you search QR code, for example, immediately what will appear is a QR code generator. So it's a free form for you guys to fill out. It only takes a couple seconds. You just add the link that you're trying to connect a QR code to, and someone from Scott Leroy Marketing will actually create that QR code for you, email it back to you when it's completed, and that usually gets back to you within the hour. So they're very, very great team. And they're, like I said, they're here to help with a ton of different things, that just being one of them. The other thing I will show you is under the Agent Resources tab. It used to be a drop-down menu automatically, but now it is asking you to type in your Market Center number. So our Market Center number is 350. So 350, go ahead and kind of mark that in your brain. You'll see that number a lot. But once you've typed in our Market Center number, it will allow you to now use this drop-down menu. And you'll see here under training, if you go over one step to training calendar, Scott Leroy Marketing actually does release a training calendar. They do offer live Zoom tech-based trainings for Keller Williams Technology. It's 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So the reason I share this with you guys is obviously we do have phenomenal technology trainings offered in the office on a regular basis. Actually, at the start of the new year, we'll be bringing in even more opportunity to get a lot of that training from Jules and Leah. So we're very excited about that. But what I will say is that obviously we understand Tuesdays and Thursdays may not be the best fit for everyone's schedule. And I know with being a real estate agent, sometimes you guys are just going to have an appointment that randomly comes up on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and you may not have the opportunity to jump into a class that you really wanted to participate in. So if you're looking for maybe some specific focus on your tech training, you guys can easily use this as a supplemental opportunity. Check out what they're talking about, because they do a command overview every single Monday, but they also have some very specific focus on setting goals, whether that's nurturing your database, if it's print marketing, if it's DocuSign. They do a lot of great topics through Scott Leroy Marketing. I'm trying to close out of that. So please do utilize this. Again, if maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays aren't the best fit for your schedule, this is just another opportunity for you still to develop a well-rounded tech education, but through Scott Leroy Marketing. And then the other thing that I like to share with you guys, not that we couldn't spend probably hours on this page as well, is I will show you here is the store option. So one of the biggest questions I think I receive when you guys first onboard, and this is across the board, I do get asked a lot about business cards. So the unfortunate answer is we do not provide them as a part of your onboarding, but we do partner with Scott Leroy Marketing, and through them we have access to the agent store. That's right. And the agent store offers opportunities for you guys to order business cards, similar content like name tags, things of that nature, for a really, really good price point. And that's the big thing, is I want to make sure everyone's getting a good deal on it as well. So obviously, if you are very, very creative and you want something super unique to represent you and your business, you're welcome to go through Canva or Vistaprint, things of that nature. But if you are looking just for a quick and easy template that's recognizable as Keller Williams right away, they actually do offer pre-done templates. All you have to do is select the business card option here, and then it will ask you to say Keller Williams is your firm, and then it will give you a drop-down menu of the branches that they partner with, or the market centers, and you'll be able to select Valentine from that drop-down menu, and that will automatically pull over some of our office information, and you'll just be asked to type in your information like phone number, email, website, and a couple fields, and it will auto-generate this design for you. So it's a very easy to use tool. The biggest thing with that is, again, that price point's phenomenal. I was able to order my own business cards through here, and I ordered 500 and it only cost $39. So it's a really good resource resource. And just again, no requirement to go this route, but I want to make sure you know that it's out there for you. And then the other thing I always take time to mention with this as well is if we are provisional brokers, especially, it is required that you do reach out to Tasha Viney, our BIC associate, just to get approval on your business card design, because there's certain things that you guys legally must have on that card and then things that you cannot have on that card. So it's just important to make sure everything's in compliance, and that way you guys can easily print them. I would hate for anyone to buy something that they can't use later. So just check with Tasha. All you have to do is text her a quick picture of your business card design. She can give you the thumbs up and you're good to order it. If you're a broker status, you do not have the same kind of requirements to get approval from Tasha. However, you're welcome to obviously ask questions if you have any. There is no shame in that. There are also advertising guidelines posted to our website that we'll touch on in just a little while here. And that is going to be a resource I would recommend to broker status agents, because that will give you some guidance and understanding without having to necessarily get the immediate approval of anybody. So keep in mind, Agent Store, it is through Scott Leroy Marketing, so it's very easy to navigate to. If you lose this page, I would say Google Scott Leroy Marketing, go right to their website and you'll be able to find it again. But I'm going to close out there for now. So again, we're still under that new agent window. This is where you will find access to those 2 Facebook pages. So I know there are several listed here, but the 2 at the top are going to be our most active pages. The first one is going to be an internal Facebook page, and it's just our KW agents and our leadership team. So it's just you guys and me, and a couple others as well. But basically, this platform has been a great use of social media, obviously connecting people that are not always physically in the same room. So you guys are welcome to share different opportunities that you have. If you guys are looking for opportunities, you can also post that in there. Feel free to ask questions. Obviously, people are happy to shout out answers. We're a very collaborative office. So anytime that you guys do ask a question, it is more than likely that you will receive an answer on that post. The big thing is obviously, as you guys are getting your foot in the door and business is starting to roll through, you guys may find yourself looking for a property on behalf of one of your buyers, and you're just not seeing anything in MLS that looks like it's really fitting what they're looking for. So what you can do is you can always post right on the Facebook page and say, hey, does anyone know of anything coming up? Anyone have a coming soon that matches the following criteria? And people will immediately pop in there and say, hey, just sent you a message about something, or whatever that looks like, but they are always here to help. And also on that website, of course, you guys can be seeing, I'm on there all the time. I'm posting about the different events and trainings we've got coming up. It's got a little description about everything as well as a flyer attached, so it's very easy to recognize. And then you'll also see the registration links for everything. If there is required registration, will be posted right then and there as well. So very easy for you guys to plug into any trainings and events, as well as stay in touch with different agents in the office anytime you've got questions, or maybe you guys are saying, hey, like I just had a listing come up. I'm going to do it firm exclusive, and you guys want to share more about that on the Facebook page, you're welcome to do that. And then the second Facebook page you'll see just below there is actually similar in concept. It is another internal Facebook page. It is just our agents, our leadership team, and our vendor partners. So at Keller Williams Ballantyne, we do have a phenomenal vendor program here. Wonderful vendors that are vetted by our own agents. So you know that they offer a product or service that you can trust, and they will help to get your clients in a great position. So if you are looking to get connected with our vendors, that is another resource I'd highly recommend, because our vendors are part of that Facebook page. They're constantly on there, either sharing more about their business, their products, their services, maybe a promotional opportunity. And then you guys also can use Facebook in a wonderful way where you can just simply search that page and say landscaper. And any landscapers that we have in the program will populate right then and there. Makes it very easy for you guys to get quotes and information from each of them regarding your clients. So keep that in mind as well when trying to search for a vendor, because I know that that's not always easy, especially maybe brand new in the business. You might not know anyone who does that, and you want to obviously make sure you're getting connected with someone you can trust. So that's going to be a great opportunity to do that. Just a little bit lower down here, we also have access to Kellerisms, which I will not take the time to click on today, but Kellerisms really just is a PDF breakdown of all the language you hear at Keller Williams. So what we've noticed, obviously, is as part of our amazing culture here at Keller Williams, we do have some language and that you may not hear outside of these walls, like cappers. What is a capper? What is a 415? If you guys or a 145, if you guys are not familiar with some of that terminology, don't be intimidated. I didn't know what it meant either. So when you guys are starting to see some of those words come across and you're not quite sure what they mean, and either it's a really late hour and nobody's going to get back to you, or maybe it's just that you're feeling a little shy, not that you need to, but you are welcome to reference Kellerisms. It will break down everything that we say here at Keller Williams that's kind of exclusive to KW, and it breaks it down into real world terms, so it makes it very easy to understand. Again, you guys are welcome to always come to me or anyone on the staff to ask questions about that, and we're happy to answer. But if you do prefer to just read through it and not have to ask the embarrassing question, I totally understand. So that is going to be a great reference guide for you guys. Just a little bit lower down, we will actually have access here to answers.kw.com. So this is another resource for you guys in regards to your technology. So if you guys are looking for assistance navigating command, again, it's a wonderful platform through Keller Williams. But one thing, of course, that comes with that is that because it is exclusive to KW, you may never have seen it before prior to joining this office. So if you're trying to get used to it, I know it's a little bit different. So answers.kw.com is actually going to be a search engine, if you will. It's a library full of articles and small publishments that you guys can scroll through. All you have to do is select the platform of Keller Williams being Command that you guys are trying to figure out. Sometimes it also has articles on KW Connect and all the other KW resources, really. But if you guys are having questions about Command specifically, there we go. That came out. If you guys have questions about command specifically, you can easily go onto that website, designate that you're looking at command, type in some keywords or questions that you're having, and articles related to that topic will populate right then and there. You can easily read through any of them, and there's also screenshots to go along with everything that they're sharing. So it's not just kind of like blindly guiding you through. You have a visual as well of what you're going to be looking at. So it's a very, very helpful tool if you're troubleshooting or if you're just trying to figure out how to do something maybe at a higher level. That's a great resource for you. Obviously, I know some people do really, really well with reading to find solutions to things. So if that matches your learning style, that would be one I would highly encourage you to look at. There's also a sister website to this called ideas.kw.com, and that's really just for your feedback in regards to command. So the goal obviously is to make command as user-friendly a platform as possible. So if at any point in time you guys are navigating through it and you're like, hey, I love this feature, but I would love it if it was accessible to me on this page as well. They want to hear feedback like that, whether you're a brand new agent, a seasoned agent, someone who's transferred from another firm, they want to hear from you. So feel free to share your feedback at ideas.kw.com as well. And then there's also opportunity here to download Ignite materials, but you'll see that for each individual Ignite session, the same, it's one overarching manual, and that will be added to each individual session as you go through the training calendar. So that might just be a little bit easier to access. But we do have them digitally available for free as a PDF if that, again, is compatible with your learning style. But if you are true and true on doing the pen and paper route, I completely respect that. I'm a big fan as well. We do sell the Ignite manuals as well in our office, and they're $35. So something to keep in mind depending on what you think would work best for you. And as you scroll even further down the page, you will see that there is access to our training calendar, but I'm going to actually hold off on showing you guys that until we get to a more convenient way to navigate to that page. There are going to be several different ways to pull to the same information through this website. So I'm going to try to show you guys the most key and easy to remember ways to do it. Less work for you guys, makes it a little bit easier altogether. So we'll skip for just a second. And then at the very bottom of the page, you'll see that there is opportunity to book a conference room. I will tell you now, the easiest way to do this is just through the helpful links drop down. That it's a lot less scrolling, and you'll see here it says schedule a conference room. But we do have 6 different conference rooms on our floor, and you guys are welcome to use any of them at any point in time. We encourage you to do so. With that being said, I will let you know each of these conference rooms is a different capacity. So you'll be able to book your conference room and visualize like what the capacity is prior to confirming your reservation for the room. We do ask that these rooms are on rotation constantly, just so they are a resource available to everyone. So we do prefer that you guys keep it to 2 hours or less if you can in a room. And then we also just ask that you use these more for collaborative efforts, like coaching conversations, client consultations, anything that's kind of you and somebody. Yeah. Yeah, of course. No, 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 please. Yep. Yeah. So I would No. Oh my gosh, you were so sweet. No, n I promise you they're louder in the office, me probably being one of them. So what I would say is I think the cubicle would probably be the best fit for that, just because with lead generation, I know that obviously that can I don't know what your time blocking for lead gen looks like, it might be several hours longer. Yeah, I was gonna say standing, yep. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the cubicles would be a really great option if you continue actually down this hallway and oh, well, I was gonna say, I was like, so a couple places I would say to do your lead gen. We do have lead generation actively going on in the hub. I believe that's actually what Kyrie's working on right now out there. So just this high top table area, you're welcome to use anytime you'd like to do lead gen, especially in the mornings. We encourage that. And then obviously you'll know if there's something going on in there, and you'll kind of be able to feel that out. And then also we do have the tech lounge, which is just across the hall right here. It's all those computer stations. You guys are welcome to use those at any point in time. If you'd like to just kind of sit there and do lead gen because it's easier, you're more than welcome to do that. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Nope. Yep. I appreciate it. But yes, you could absolutely use those computers. And then at the very end of the hall, if you basically walked out this door and kept going down the hall and hooked a right, there's another set of cubicles over there. And they actually have little signs that say day desk on them. And that means that those are more intended for just independent work time, whether that's lead generation or just, hey, like I need to focus for a second. I need some privacy. You guys can be there. Again, we try to keep those on rotation. But obviously, if you guys need to stay situated for a little bit longer, that is what their more intended use is. Whereas conference rooms, again, it's going to be more of a collaborative. You're meeting with someone. Obviously, if you guys are taking a phone call and you just want to pop in there, a vacant conference room for a hot second, you're more than welcome to do that. And then obviously, the only reason that you would need to get out is, of course, if someone knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I'm supposed to have the room right now," then go ahead and just excuse yourself. But you're more than welcome to pop into one. If you need to take a phone call, that's absolutely fine. But it's very easy to book the conference rooms. You'll create a quick login if you hit this register button, or if you use it from the drop down menu. It'll take you to a website called skeda.com. You'll create a quick login using your KW information, and then you guys will be able to hit the book conference room button. It'll open an easy spreadsheet at the top. You'll see all the conference rooms as well as the capacity they hold. And down the side, you'll be able to see all the time slots in the day, and you can just drag and drop for any of those conference rooms to book the room. Very, very simple process. And if you experience any difficulty, I am an admin on the page, so I can easily go in on the back end and I can create whatever reservation you need, or I can tweak whatever you may have already set. So just keep me informed if you're having any trouble with that. So that all, if you can believe it, was under one button. So that was all under our new agent button. And that again is just highlighting some key information I think is very relevant as a brand new agent. But if you were to continue scrolling, this is still our home page. This will actually show you kind of a staff directory. It's got all of our wonderful leadership team here. It shares all of what each of us are responsible for and our roles are on the leadership team. And it also shows you our email addresses. So if you needed to contact any of us about anything, that's an easy way for you guys to have access to our information. And if you scroll down a little bit further, we also have access to a can't miss video of the week. Ironically, I always tell people this has actually been up for months. And the reason is not because we're bad at our jobs, I promise. It's actually because this particular video, it's only 25 minutes, but it goes over both Command and DocuSign and how the two platforms communicate with each other. So it's kind of your foundational tutorial and how to set that up, how to understand how the two go together. And Leah, our tech coordinator, is actually the one who's walking you through that in that video. But very simple. It's a shared screen, so it's very easy to follow along with. But something I would highly recommend looking at. And the great news is it can be done at your convenience. So if you guys are not trying to do any of that until the new year, I completely understand. If you're like, hey, sometimes I need a break from my family over the holidays, I might just step away for 25 minutes. You can watch the video then, whatever that looks like for you. But it is one that we would definitely encourage so you have a good understanding of your technology. Just a little bit further down, we do have our office training calendar. So, of course, if you keep scrolling down our homepage, you will arrive at the training calendar. The fastest way is to let this pull for you. If you click on office training calendar, you'll watch it just do all the scrolling for you, and it takes you right to this location. But this is our office training calendar. It highlights everything that we have going on at Keller Williams Ballantyne, whether it's an event, a training, a social that's off site, whatever it is, it's all going to be encompassed on this calendar. So I would highly recommend taking a look at the calendar so that you guys can get plugged into not only everything and anything and everything to get a sense of community and really build relationships, but also because of course, if it's something that you think is going to propel you or your business forward, we would love to have you for it. So please take a look at the calendar. You'll notice that it looks like some things are obviously getting chopped off. All you have to do is click on the particular event and it'll give you a little bit more information about it. You'll be able to see if there's a Zoom link, a registration link of any kind, and if there's a flyer attached, you'll be able to see that as well. So this is going to obviously be the kind of time we're winding down a little bit because we know obviously Christmas is right around the corner and so is the new year. So you may see it's a little bit thinner here than other days because I promise it's not normally this barren. We are very, very active in this office. I would say that the next big event, if anyone has interest, is going to be how to be a happy, healthy human. Alyssa Spa is actually flying in from Florida for this. I was gonna say she's amazing. So and right, and I was gonna say, and even if it's something you think you already know, there's always something more you can glean from someone else. And I think the really cool thing is, you'll see this as part of being in KW culture is we highly value your training. And people, you'll even talk to top producing agents. People have taken the same class 10 times because what they stand by every single time they take it. You're in a different position in your life. You're going to see things from a different lens and you're going to have something else to take home from it. So feel free, again, truly anything that you think makes the most sense for you personally or you in your business, we would love to have you for it. So go ahead and start looking at the things that are coming up in the market center, and get plugged into those just by signing up for them. And of course, if you have any questions about what you're seeing on the calendar, feel free to email me or call me. I'm happy to give you a little bit more information because this is kind of the other thing that I do. I onboard and then I do that. Yeah. So T group is a little bit different than coaching. Actually, it's just a little bit lower on the page. So T group is one of the three pillars of mentorship that we offer for brand new agents. So typically, if you're a brand new agent, we will auto enroll you into the coaching program because we think that that's a really, really great opportunity for you to get a lot of business assistance in terms of making sure your business is set up correctly to launch your career. They'll be going over different strategies, goal setting, tactics like that with you and they want to know you intimately when it comes to your goals. So coaching offers a lot of kind of more in-depth approach to the business side of things. We also have T group partners, which is what you're noticing on the training calendar here. Your T group partner is your transaction group partner. So these individuals meet every single week and they just go over at length what the forms and contracts you'll be working with are for any given state that you're licensed in. So if you're licensed in North Carolina, I will get you assigned to a North Carolina group. If you're South, you'll be assigned to our only South Carolina group. So obviously, I'm happy to get you assigned to a T group partner now that you're a solo agent. So just let me know because I can send you the overview of the schedule. You just tell me what you think will work best for you on a consistent basis, and I'll get you plugged right in. Yeah. Yep. Two different things. Yep. And then we've got a first step partner, but I will wait to talk about that in just a split second here, because all of those three individuals we consider to be our three pillars of mentorship. So just underneath the training calendar, just so you guys had an idea, these are just highlighting some of our recurring meetings. So if you wanted to get a little bit more information about any of those or understand a little bit better when you could expect it to come back onto the calendar, maybe you missed a session of something, this just highlights again some of the recurring things that we do here. Our ALC meetings are wonderful. It's when our agent leadership council gets together and they meet to make decisions on behalf of Ballantyne moving forward because we do always try to reference our agent leadership council and our agent base so that we can make sure the decisions that we make as a market center are reflecting your perspectives and opinions as agents as well. We also have team meetings. That's the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. Those are a lot of fun, very high energy. This room is usually like completely full at that point, but they're really fun. We go over so much information. We kind of give you an at a glance of everything that's happening at Valentine, whether that's upcoming events, welcoming new agents, celebrating agents who had great months last month, talking to vendor partners, having conversations about the market. We do it all. So it's a really great experience and one I would encourage you guys to participate in. And then also Tech Tuesdays, another great opportunity, and that will be one of our in-house tech opportunities. Those are done workshop style. So Jules and Leah, depending on who is teaching, they will encourage you to bring your laptops to that so that you can follow along the entire class. And then, of course, if you guys are having any difficulty or questions, you can raise your hand and they'll walk right over and walk you through it together. So a great opportunity to get a really thorough understanding of your technology, because they can take it from just being basics like, hey, I'm just using this to get paid, I just want to log my transactions, to teaching you how to use it at a high level where you can start leveraging your marketing and your touches to your sphere as well. So they'll be able to teach you a lot of different elements that you can utilize through Command, which is pretty amazing. And just below there, we do have our wonderful broker in charge, Miss Sabra Romeo. We also have Tasha Viney, and she is going to be our BIC associate. So these two lovely ladies are phenomenal, very, very knowledgeable to say the least. They are very patient and kind as well, so don't ever be intimidated. They're very nice. So the only thing I would mention is Sabra, unfortunately, is not in the office very often. Her mother is 100 years old, so she actually stays with her mother since COVID. She's been very good about staying with her mother to help kind of take care of her. And so she is just not frequently in the office these days. But Tasha Viney is in the office. She's in the office 3 days a week. Her office hours are posted right here next to her picture, so that you guys know when you can anticipate her being here. And she's actually just outside of this door. Her office is just to the right behind these high top tables. And anytime she's in the office, so it's just right outside this door. Yep. And so anytime that she's in the office, her door is open. If she can take any questions, her door will always be open. So you guys can easily stop in to talk to her at any point. Maybe bring her your business card design one day. And then I also have her email address as well. Both of their emails are posted here. And then down a little bit lower here, obviously this is probably not something anyone is thinking about right now. We'll probably think about that closer to the springtime. But when it comes to renewing your license or making sure you're on top of your CE, anything like that, if you guys have questions about that, there are some charts here that you can easily click on that will navigate and take you to a separate page, just so you have a little bit more information about what the requirements are to maintain your license. And then there's also step-by-steps on how you guys can log in to check your progress and where you're at. Make sure you've got everything taken care of before you guys roll into the next year. So that would be something I would definitely encourage taking a look at, especially if you've got any questions about it. It should provide a lot of clarity. But of course, any additional questions beyond that, you can reach out to Tasha or Sabra. So just a little bit lower, we do have, as I mentioned, our ALC. These are all the wonderful agents who have served on our ALC for 2023. You'll see each of their names here, as well as the chairs or committees that they served. And then you also have their email addresses in addition to that. So if you guys wanted to reach out to them, whether that was just to ask, hey, when do you guys meet? Or, hey, I love what you guys are doing, I want to be involved somehow. Whatever that conversation looks like, they're here to help. Again, we're a very collaborative effort, office, and that's all the way across the board in every facet. So when it comes to our ALC, they do have monthly meetings with their committee in addition to the overarching ALC meeting. And their committee meetings are obviously going to focus a little bit more on what their specific focal point is. So our growth committee focuses on passive income and building your downline. So through sponsorship and following along with the profit share system. So they're here to help give you guys conversations about what you can be doing to encourage that. Sometimes they're actively sitting down and calling people just to try and build relationships. And then other times they're also reaching out to you guys because they do visit Superior. They go and do presentations at the school as well. So if you were interested in any of that, that is the committee to get in touch with. We have our social committee, which everyone loves because they plan the fun parties and events. So if you guys wanted to be part of that conversation, our social committee is phenomenal as well. And then we do also have career development, and they come to us with a lot of the great training ideas to bring into the market center. So if you guys had feedback about what you loved, maybe what you'd like to see more of, career development is going to be the best committee to reach out to about that. I know, right? So much goes on here. It's kind of impressive. And so when we scroll just a little bit lower, we do have those coaches that I was referring to. So again, your productivity coaches are really here to help make sure your business is set up for success. So they're here to assist you guys with the fundamentals of that. They'll be meeting weekly with all of their coaching clients. And then you guys will also have opportunities for one-on-one appointments with your coach as well. And then Regina, if you are interested in coaching, the person you'll want to reach out to is Michelle Amador. She's at the top in that staff directory. I was gonna say, I was like, if you were interested, that is where I would start for sure. Good, good. And then a little bit lower down here, we do have T group partners. As I was mentioning, these are those transaction group partners. So they're here to help you with everything transactional. So please come to them with any of your questions for contracts and forms. I always kind of consider them your first stepping stone before you go to Tasha or Sabra. Start with your T group partner because they're only kind of overseeing 50 or so agents. So they can probably easily answer that question. And then also you guys will be meeting weekly with your partners. So you have an opportunity to ask questions live as you're learning the documents. But essentially their goal is to help you guys build up basically like rough templates for each of these. So considering if it were a brand new, like, standard by the book transaction, which I know not all of them are, but if everything, were as it should be, they're going to give you basically a template of what your documents should look like, and they're going to help you to fill them out. I know Richard is really good. He'll email you everything the week ahead. So that way you guys know what to anticipate. He's going to ask you to review it, get comfortable with it, and then you'll do it together in person. And then, of course, he will also take any questions that you guys have. And then the same goes for the following week. He'll then tell you what the next topic is and send that stuff to you in advance. So we've got a really, really great system here and support system for your transactions, and one to definitely keep in mind as well. And basically, if you've not already been assigned to a T group partner, that is something obviously that comes when you first get onboarded. I pretty much email that to you almost as soon as I see your KW email come through. And then, of course, Regina, like I said, now that you are an individual agent, if you would like to get plugged into this program, just send me an email and I can send you that all of that information to you. Of course. And then down a little bit lower, these are our first step partners. So this would be our third and final pillar of mentorship. And these, I know, right? There's like, how many more do we get? And so each of you will be assigned to a first step partner as well. And your first step partner really is kind of, we like joke and we say they're your first friend at Valentine. They're really just here to check in on you, make sure you're acclimating well to the office. So they want to check in. I know Carrie's very diligent. She'll call you within the first week or so of having you as part of her first step program. She'll give you a call just to say, hey, I'm Carrie. Please let me know if you've got any questions. And then, of course, you guys can easily call her back, talk to her on the phone. Even if it's not a question, just get acquainted with her. But she's like, all of these women are phenomenal and they're here to help you guys and take any of those questions. I consider them more like Valentine experts, because if you're going to have a business related question, it's probably going to go to your coach. If you've got a transaction based question, go to your T group partner. And then for these lovely ladies, if you guys are wondering, like, hey, Liz told me something about a parking permit, but like, where did she show me that again? They can send a lot of that information over to you or help direct you to who to speak to next. And then all of them also have a 30, 60, 90 ramp up posted next to them. And that's just an overview checklist basically of in your first 3 months at the office. It's really just in case you guys ever find yourselves feeling confused or lost in regards to what to do next, because you guys are independent contractors and entrepreneurs guiding your own business forward. It can be hard sometimes to know what you should be doing each day. So in that event, the 30, 60, 90 is really just a reference guide of, hey, here in week 1 or week 6, here's things that I can be working on right now that'll be doing something for me in the long run. Whether that's lead generation and being diligent about that in the mornings, or if that's, hey, have you plugged into a Tech Tuesday yet? Consider plugging into a Tech Tuesday this week. It highlights some key trainings and it highlights just an idea of what you guys should be doing next. And again, as of right now, we don't have any kind of grading policy behind this. So of course you do not have to make sure every single thing has been done. I really consider it right now to be, if you guys are feeling lost or uncomfortable at all, that's a really good guide to help get you back on track. And then at the very bottom of the page here, you'll just see we've got some helpful resources and frequently used sites, but there's a much easier way to grab that information. So we'll jump back to the top here. This next tab is FAQs. So basically, this is just kind of an overview of what each of us on leadership, again, is responsible for. Obviously, if you don't know what a market center administrator is, even though it's Lynn's title, I don't blame you. That sounds really kind of like vague to me. But of course, if you were wondering maybe who do I go to about referrals or commission requests, I've got questions about that. Yep. If you hover right over the tile, it just tells you who on leadership is responsible for that. And then also their email address so you can reach out to them. This is obviously not going to be every question you guys will have, and I totally understand that, but it will cover, I think, a good spectrum for the most part. So if you realize you have additional questions or anything like that, just reach out to me, because even if I'm not the best person to answer the question, I can help direct you to who is. So just keep me posted on if you've got any questions that you feel aren't encompassed in this tab. But again, just a good opportunity to get a little bit more insight of who does what. This next tab that we're going to talk about is the on-demand training tab. And it is password protected, but the password is very similar to our Wi-Fi. So it's a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. No exclamation point on that one. And then I'll say that password one more time on the next tab, because those are our two password protected. But when you go to on-demand training, if you were to click on this left-hand button saying on demand, it's going to actually take you to a YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel is our Keller Williams Valentine YouTube channel. So it isn't, I will say right now, full disclosure, this is not every single thing that we do here in the office. Unfortunately, it is going to be more of our recurring trainings or meetings, like team meetings, orientation. We've got Tech Tuesday videos published here as well. So those recurring meetings that maybe you had an appointment and you just couldn't make it to team meeting that one time, but you really want to know, like, hey, what do they talk about? I know Teresa was saying there was going to be a special guest, who was it? That's an opportunity for you guys to still go back and see everything you may have missed, but at a time that works best for your schedule. The reason that we don't have absolutely every recording on here is just because we only get recordings if the class was on Zoom. So if it was a strictly in-person class, I won't have a recording to offer, unfortunately. And the other thing, of course, too, is that we are trying to encourage live participation, whether that is through remote participation or in person, only because it gives you another opportunity to engage and ask questions. So we try to get you guys set up so that you can have those opportunities as well, because we think that they're highly valuable. And the only other thing I usually share about this particular page is obviously I am pulling the Zoom recordings and I am uploading them to YouTube, usually within a week or two of the training happening, so that you guys can have timely trainings and information. The only thing to really note is, of course, with as developed and advanced as technology has gotten, there are some drawbacks to that. And unfortunately, YouTube sometimes says, hey, Liz, I don't like that recording. It violates some policy I have, which I know every single time is not true, but I can't really get around that. So occasionally my recordings will bounce back to me, meaning that I just can't publish them to YouTube, but I still may have access to them. So in that event, just if you're looking for maybe a specific Tech Tuesday, because Jules and Leah talked about Facebook last week, but you're just not seeing it there, it very well may be that it just got bounced back at me. So feel free to shoot me an email in that event and say, hey, I was looking for this recording, but I didn't see it on the YouTube channel. And I'm happy to email that to you if I still have access to it. So something to keep in mind. And then the last thing on this page, because this is just a bit more information about Ignite. So if you've got questions about Ignite, this is a good chunk here. But on the right-hand side, if you hit Command on Demand, this is going to be very similar. It's also a YouTube channel, but this is Scott Leroy Marketing's YouTube channel. So again, for that really, really well-developed foundation for your technology. Nope, you're good. That video plays on here every time, and it scares me every single time. And the worst thing is that of course I have Zoom on, so I have it hooked up to the overhead and it's just like blaring and I feel terrible. So I always try to catch it because it throws me off every single time. But so Scott Leroy Marketing has their YouTube channel as well. They're ranging anywhere from short tech tips of like 10 minutes or less to full length classes. So if you guys are looking, again, trying to build up your tech background and education for KW Command, DocuSign, online or similar programs, this is a great opportunity again at a time that works for you, because maybe Tuesday afternoons, Thursday afternoons, afternoons in general is they're just not good for me because I got to pick up my kids. I get it. So in that event, I would say absolutely look at Scott Marketing, because they do offer all of this information to you guys as a partner with our office. So you guys will easily be able to access this, and it's all free for you to use. So please do utilize it anytime, because again, they're going to have such specific videos and specific focuses on here that it may be something that you've not seen Jules and Leah necessarily bring to the office just yet. So if you are looking for like a very, very specific thing, I would start honestly with Scholarly Marketing just to see if it's already out there and a little bit less work for you guys. And I'm going to close out of that. And again, that was just our on-demand training tab. Our office resources tab, before I click into it, I'm just going to hover over for a second. Ladies, if you remember, I said advertising guidelines earlier. So if you're wondering what needs to be on my business card, what needs to be on my print marketing, anything like that, even broker status, maybe I just want some clarity on something, what needs to be there, what can't be there. Advertising guidelines are right here. So all you have to do is click on it. It's going to be password protected as well. It's the same password as before. I will read it out to you again in just a moment here. And then we also just below that have access to the do not call list, which is another really, really important thing for you guys to be aware of. I believe everyone heard about the do not call list as well, like through school at the very least. Obviously there are some people that maybe don't want you guys to call them. So in the event that there are people out there that don't want to be called, it's important, of course, that you guys know who they are, because you guys are subject to fines if you inadvertently call the wrong person. So just to protect you guys, you'll want to make sure that you're not contacting the wrong individuals who have tried to get themselves on that list. So reference that. It'll give you step by step how to get plugged in, so you know and can access that list. And that way you never have to stress about accidentally calling the wrong person. And then if you click on the Office Resources tab in general, again, it's going to ask for our big password, which is a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. And if anyone needs that again before we leave today, just let me know. But once we're in the Office Resources tab, on the left-hand side, because I believe we're both North Carolina licensed, right? Yep. Okay. Just making sure. I was like, I'm pretty confident, but let me just double check. So on the left-hand side, if you guys hit the Get Forms button. Oh, go ahead. You're good. Yep. So I'm not, so I just clicked right on it. There's not a specific drop down for this one. This is just the page in general. Yep. Yeah, of course. And so when you click on that Get Forms button, it will take you actually to a Google Drive folder. And these are all of our Keller Williams Valentine specific forms. So what I will say, again, full disclosure, this is not every single form you guys will need for a transaction. It is not going to have our key like state forms and contracts on here. Those will be available to you guys through Matrix, which is through, or Zip Forms through Matrix and your Canopy, or through your DocuSign. So that's where you'll find a lot of the state information, but of course we do have some Valentine specific documents that you'll be asked to produce as well for your transactions. Some of which may be just the working with real estate agents agreement. That's an important one. Obviously, we've also got our W-9 on there. So if you guys are doing referrals, you'll want to make sure you know where that is. We do have disclosures about our partnerships. We have the septic and sewer information form posted here, working with real estate agent brochure at the bottom. And then we also have access to a ton of other great information, addendums, things like that, that you guys will want to make sure that you are aware where it exists, I'm sure, when it comes time to get paid. So do please use this, because I say not all of the state forms, practically none of them, honestly, will be in this folder. Again, that's through DocuSign or through Zip Forms, which is through Matrix, through Canopy. If you guys are doing it backwards, and maybe it would not like backwards in a bad way, but back just like a different order. If you guys are starting in DocuSign, you're populating all your documents through DocuSign for your transaction, you're going to have all those state forms come over, but you're realizing, wait a minute, I'm not seeing the referral agreement that I'm looking for. If I'm not seeing that working with real estate agents form, that's, if you don't see something in DocuSign or Matrix, you'll find it in the Google Drive. So between the two resources, you should have everything that you're looking for or access to it. I give that information because I feel like it can be a little confusing, and I want to make sure everyone's aware of where you can find what. But so again, that's all your North Carolina side. If you guys become South Carolina licensed or are already on the South Carolina side, that's where you can find the South Carolina equivalent of those forms, but it's a separate Google Drive folder to make it easier. And then in the smack dab middle here, we have Get Checklist. So if you click on the Get Checklist button, again, this is another Google Drive folder. And this one is actually built up by Sabra as well, except the difference with this is that she created all of these checklists from scratch herself. So if you guys, again, I know brand new agents or first few transactions, it's super difficult to keep track of all the things you're responsible for, and that's natural. So if you guys are feeling kind of like a little bit of stress from that at all, and you just want to make sure like I've doubled back and I made sure I got everything I needed to, you guys can use these checklists as a tool for that. So it's based off of both states, North and South Carolina, and it shows you either side, whether it's buyer or sell. And you guys can see all of that. So for example, we'll click on North Carolina buyer, and she breaks down everything you're responsible for. And it gives you an idea of like rough timeline of like, if there's a time constraint on it, this is when it needs to be done by. So again, built up by our very own BIC. So we know that it's good information. And she's done it for quite literally every transaction you could probably ever have at this office, except for maybe commercial, but I know you guys are not commercial brokers, so I don't feel that bad about that. But yeah, so it's got all of this information on here. And again, by no means are you required to use any of this. You are entrepreneurs. This is your business. However, if this is something that can benefit you and ease some of the burden, the stress, any of that, we want you guys to know where it is. We want you to utilize it so that it can help you. Because again, we are very, very big on supporting you guys through your career and obviously providing you everything you need to build a successful career. So these checklists exist out here on our KWB resources page solely for you to make sure that you've covered all of your bases, you have dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's. So make sure that you reference them as often as you'd like, especially before those transactions feel like they're muscle memory. If you scroll a little bit further, we're just still under the office resources page. You'll have access to the CE shop. So if you hit the find classes, I just want to show you like two things on this website. CE shop is one of the two facilities that offer real estate education that we partner with. So they do offer through our partnership, we get great deals as well. And I'll share a little bit more about that in just a couple minutes. But the two things I'd like to share specifically on their website is, ladies, if we're not South Carolina licensed, but we want to become South Carolina licensed, the CE shop offers something a little bit unique. They are a self-paced learning facility. They're all online. If you guys have ever wondered, will self-paced work for me? Because from what I hear, it is a hit or a miss for people. Yep, it really is. And it's purely about like your learning style. I think a little bit of discipline, which is not a bad thing because I have no discipline. So like I know I wouldn't do well with it. But if you guys are kind of wondering if that would be a good fit for you, CE Shop offers a self-paced free trial for 1 week for South Carolina licensing. So if you guys wanted to check it out and try before you buy, give it that first week and find out, yes, was this something I want to continue with, or no, goodness gracious, no, that was not a good way to go, you guys can walk away from it. So it's a really great opportunity to try out the self-paced for yourself without it affecting your score or costing you any money. And then in addition to that, of course, you guys can easily, if that's not the route you want to take, we do partner with some in-person and online classes as well. So I'll give you that information in just a second. But I did want to talk about the self-paced free trial because that's very unique to the CE shop. And then the last thing I like to show used to be up top. So now I look like insane for telling you guys, go to the very bottom of the page. And in the smallest and finest print ever, this hot topics under agent essentials. If you click on that, yes, and then it's under hot topics. Sometimes it gives you a little funny message at first, but basically the only reason I share this with you guys is it's actually a whole library of ebooks, podcasts, videos, and blogs. But this entire page is just built up of that content. So it's informational, some of it's lighthearted. So not only is it something you guys as an agent can benefit from and learn from, but it's basically, in my opinion, a cheat code, if you will, to social media marketing. If you want to have a heavy social media presence, a couple things that I do know, again, not even being an agent, is that it's very important to keep the page active. and constantly be sharing information. And it's very important that you're diversifying what you're sharing so that it's not just the same stuff. It doesn't become monotonous to people. And you're also gaining new traffic to the page dependent on the content you're posting. So this is one that I highly recommend if you plan to have a heavy social media presence. This is just, again, something that's like hit the easy button for the day. I slept in too late. It's not my good day, or I've got so many showings today. There's just no way I can make a post just yet. You guys can easily, we always talk about rip off and duplicate. It always sounds bad, but it's not a bad thing in real estate. It's a good thing. So if you guys can do anything to avoid having to reinvent the wheel, you guys should absolutely take advantage of that. And this is just another resource for you guys to do just that, where if you want to do social media and you just don't know what to share one day, share one of these articles. Because again, some of them are lighthearted, some of them are informational, depends purely on what you want to share, but it's an easy button for you guys and one I like to share with you. So I'm going to close out of this. That was through CE Shop. We do have access to our floor plan if you get back to KWB Resources. I don't know that you'll need it, but if you still would like to reference it, I totally understand. Our office is a very weird shape, so it makes total sense if you want to go through that. And then below there, we do have access to numbers to know. Again, say, hey, I did go get my South Carolina Liz. I'm so excited. I got my license. But now what do I need to? There we go. I was like, that was weird. But now it's okay. It says here I need to fill out this application. I need Saber's signature, but right here, there's a spot where I need to fill out what our firm license number is for South Carolina. Do you know what that is? You guys can find numbers like that that are a little more infrequently used, but still something that you'll need on occasion. Those numbers will be posted to the bottom of our office resources page. So you'll see there, that's our firm license number for South Carolina. That's what you would write in on that application. And then there's a ton more information as well. You've got our MLS ID number for the office as well, our big participant number, our tax ID, all those things and more that you may need occasionally, again, on documents and forms, but not regularly enough to have them memorized, which again, I wouldn't blame you for not having it memorized. So we already talked about how the office calendar will just pull you right where you want to go. So if we just hover over tech resources, I usually just talk about a couple of these. The first thing that I will share with you guys is Marty Miller for Teams. If you're a big fan of chunking things down into like digestible amounts rather than a big undertaking for like 1 or 2 evenings, I fully respect that. It's a great strategy and a great approach. So Marty Miller for Teams actually breaks down in 66 small videos, no more than 10 minutes each. Over 66 days, it teaches you how to complete your whole marketing profile. So by the end of that 66 days, you'll have a thoroughly completed and filled out marketing profile. Again, it may not be for everyone. Some people may not be daunted by that idea and they just want to jump right in and figure it out. Not a problem. But if you guys like chunking things down so it's not as much time commitment in an evening, that's a great tool. I know several of our teams that like heavily encourage their agents to do this. I also will share the Pivot Shift Ahead call. A gentleman named James Shaw is based out of Florida. Phenomenal guy. He is a very successful real estate agent, and he's also done a lot with KW. And I believe now he serves as like an education chair. So he's very, very knowledgeable. James Shaw has navigated the 0809 shifting market. He went through all of that and came out on top, which I know, unfortunately, not every real estate agent can say. So through that, he learned a lot of information. And now where his platform now is to give that information back. So what he's doing is he does a Zoom call. Actually, I think it might be just through Facebook Live, but it is a Facebook group that he's developed and they go live every morning. It's from 8 to 8:30, only a half hour, but he's going through tactics to employ during shifting markets to stay on top and to navigate successfully. And then he's also highlighting other agents that may not even be part of, the Carolinas. They might be based out of Utah that are chiming into his Pivot Shift Ahead call, and they're talking about, they had so much success from their golden letter. And they're going to talk to you all about, what successes they found from their golden letter. And then the great thing is 9 times out of 10, they just share their script. Like they give you what they use for their golden letter. So again, opportunity to rip off and duplicate, learning from other agents. There's never a bad time to do something like that. If you're looking to change things up, you can always gain inspiration from others. So utilize the Pivot Shift Ahead call as much as you would like to for your business. Again, it's a Facebook group. All you have to do is click on the that, it should take you straight to the Facebook group, request to join. And once he sees you're affiliated with Keller Williams, you're pretty much guaranteed to get right into it. So it's very easy. And then you'll see, obviously, we've got access to some of the other information we've already shared. Under this helpful links tab, we do have access to our ALC meeting minutes. So if you miss an ALC meeting, the collective one where everyone's making decisions for the market center, but you want to know what you missed, that's an opportunity to read through what they would have discussed. The prayer request form just below there for me is more of a talking piece, and really just to emphasize to you guys that we do very seriously consider you to be part of our Keller Williams Valentine family. And for us, that means a lot. We care very significantly for you guys. And we, of course, want to make sure that everything is going well in your world. So if there's ever anything that's going on and maybe it's a little less than perfect, please let us know. We just want to be able to be aware so that we can support you guys as much as we can through that. Whether that's just simply for praying for you guys privately as a leadership team. If you believe in the power of prayer and you really want to make it bigger and better, tell us. We'll tell everybody. We'll get the whole market center to pray for you. But even if that's just being aware, maybe you need a hug one morning, like let us know, because we want to make sure that we can support you as much as we can. And then below that right there is KW Perks. And KW Perks is actually access to searching for insurance. So I know obviously independent contracting does not come with insurance. I'm not sure if that affects your household significantly or not. If it does, however, and you're looking for insurance at this point in time, KW Perks. Yep. So either if you're looking for insurance at this point in time, or if you guys, maybe you already have insurance, but you're like, hey, it can't hurt to see if there's something better for me out there. Check out KW Perks. KW within the past year actually partnered with Capstone Financial. So you guys can search the insurance marketplace just to see what's out there, plugging in a little bit of your information, and you guys can just kind of go over several different plans from different providers and find out if there's anything out there that will work really well for you. And I kick myself every time I get in this room because I always forget to like double check the percentage, but I know on average agents are saving more than 10% on their policies. I could not tell you exactly what that number is because clearly I forget every single time, but I know it's more than 10. I just don't want to overstate it because that would be embarrassing. And then below there is, like I said, we partner with different real estate education resources. If you click on the discount codes for real estate education, it takes you to a specific point of our website where you can access the CE Shop's website by clicking access code. It'll take you straight to the CE Shop, and there you can see all of the discounts that they're running and apply them towards anything that you are trying to register for, whether it's pre-licensing, post-licensing, or CE. And then we also do partner with Superior. So unlike CE Shop, Superior actually is not a fluctuating discount. It's a long-standing 30% off. But you'll see that Superior actually has 3 separate links for there. So it's a pre-licensing link, a post-licensing, and a CE link. So depending on what you're looking for, make sure you're using the correct link. And then of course, Superior is the in-person and online version of real estate school. And the last thing to really mention with that is not only is this something obviously you can use for yourself as you're going through and maintaining your license or maybe getting another one, but this is something you guys can share with others. There is no reason, even if it's somebody outside of the firm, maybe they never joined Keller Williams. That's okay. If your sister, your brother, your friend, your neighbor, or anybody that you know is contemplating real estate and you really want to help encourage them into that career path, you guys can, obviously you have a little bit more experience. You can show them some of the ropes and give them some additional information. You can share these discount codes with them so that they can get started at a good price as well. So feel free to utilize that, guys. It's a tool for you, not only just to love on people in your life, but also it's something that you guys can use as an opportunity to maybe hopefully build a downline. I don't know. But yes, lots can come from just utilizing these. And then just the other, like I said, you can schedule a conference room in this drop down menu. We also have access to the Think Like a CEO podcast. That is Gary Keller himself and Jay Papazan. So if you're a podcast listener and you like trying to wrap your head into the business mindset early in the morning, maybe on a walk or a run, anything like that, you can plug into that podcast. I know they do a whole season just on finances and making sure your business is set up correctly. So amazing information there. The last thing on this list, and then I'm going to show you one more thing on the list. The last thing here is Outfront Magazine. Similar to the library of content I just showed you at the CE Shop, Outfront Magazine every month gives you a calendar overview of something you can post every single day. Yep, I know. I know. It's good stuff. So if you guys again are struggling at any point in time, I just don't know what I want to share, Liz, but social media is like my main draw for adding people into my database. Like this is how I'm getting my business. You guys, again, you have an opportunity to hit an easy button. You can reference what the Outfront magazine is telling you to post. It might not be like a word for word script, but it'll give you some inspiration and guidance on it. You guys can easily just publish that to your Facebook page and say, you know what, did it. I'm done. I did my thing for today. That's out there. And then just watch what that does for your business. But again, easy buttons are what we're all about. We don't want to make you reinvent the wheel on top of all the other things you're responsible for in your life. So if we can help with that, if Keller Williams can help with that, that is a great opportunity. And then the last thing, like I said, strategic vendor partners. This is I'm going to click on this one just because, hey Liz, I forgot to join that Facebook page you mentioned with our vendors. This spreadsheet is a live document and it holds all of our vendor partners. So whether you're looking for a builder, whether you're looking for a new and a landscaper, a crawl space technician, anything like that, you'll be able to see all of the vendors we have in our program by their company, then our specific point of contact, their information. You can specifically see services and website information as well. So it's an easy way for you guys to get plugged in, get multiple quotes, and get that information over to your clients so they can choose who they'd like to use. And then in addition to that, you'll see obviously under electrician, we do only have one gentleman right now. So for those that you see, we only have a couple in. If you know someone that you've personally met and worked with before and you loved working with them, let us know. We want to see this vendor program be built up to the best it can be. It's another great opportunity for the vendors above all else, because then they immediately have access to 500 agents' information and they can get plugged in with us for different events. So it's really a win-win situation. If you've met someone that you love and would like to refer to our vendor program, it's as simple as just connecting them with PJ Kennedy through an email. CC the individual, CC PJ, and connect them. It's a very simple process. And that is his business card with his email is up at the front desk. So I won't bother you with trying to memorize what that is, but it's up at the front desk. Just grab his business card and make the introduction. He'll take care of going through all of what the vendor program entails. So it's one less thing on your plate. But I'll close out of that. The last couple things on the page, just briefly, if you were to hit this Facebook icon, that will take you straight to our main Facebook page of just our agents and our leadership team. So if you're not already a part of that Facebook page, just click that icon and it should take you right to it so that you guys can request access today. And then the last thing on this page is this wonderful I need tech help button, everyone's favorite button. So if you guys are looking for some tech assistance, whether I am looking for troubleshooting assistance, I want to understand something better, or maybe you guys are actually at a different point in your business and you're contemplating maybe leveraging and having someone take over your social media marketing, do it for you. I was going to say, see, I was going to say, Jules and Leah in our office, if you've not talked to them, Jules and Leah, the tech coordinators, you can actually use this to book an appointment with them. It's a free 30-minute consultation. You can sit down together and they'll go over all their pricing with you and you guys can come up with a plan that'll work for you. But yep, I was gonna say consider them since you're at that point. So because they're right here in the office and very phenomenal. But so just click the I need tech help button. Yep. And it'll take you right to their calendar. All these blue circles are available dates that they have with appointment times. So you can click right on it. You can book your slot and you can hit next. It asks you your name, your email. You can specify if you want to meet in person or if a Zoom appointment would work best for you. And then you can tell them the details of what you want to talk about during the meeting so you can adequately prepare and be ready to talk with you. So definitely a recommendation for you guys. Again, whether that's just I want to understand the basics and help me with my technology, I'm having difficulty with XYZ, or I'm ready to start leveraging things out because I've grown so much, or I don't like this part of the business. Like, see, not everyone likes the social media, and I get it. So yeah, if you're like, nope, one less headache. Yep. One less headache, please take it. They will do that for you. So talk to them. They are here to help. And like I said, there are wonderful in-house tech coordinators. They're teaching trainings constantly. And both of these ladies also do have a background with Scott Leroy Marketing. They worked there for several years. So you know you're getting some of the best as well. So all of that to be said, that really encompasses most of what I want to share with you guys on KWB resources. As I mentioned, I'm going to take like two more minutes of your time just to show you a quick quick email blast. And that's through a separate website. But before we jump ship and go to a new website, how do we feel? Do we have any additional questions that did not get answered? Yeah. 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 Mhm. So I would recommend the KW email personally. Obviously, if you rather see it go to your personal, there's no reason you couldn't. I would say do the KW personally because one, it's very easily recognized. It'll show obviously who you're affiliated with very clearly. And also, I think it's a little bit easier because it helps to stay organized. You'll have all your personal stuff separate, and that way all of your business stuff's in one spot. So that's my personal recommendation. But of course, your business may look different and you're welcome to set that up how you please. But yeah, I would say KW might be the easiest route, but you know what? Easy's not always the best. We could do it a little bit different. Any other questions? No? Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So when you guys are onboarded, I actually already program you into the copier. So you already have access to it. The only thing is that you may just need your PIN code so that you know. So our copiers here, I don't know how, like you can use basically, I can download print drivers onto your laptop so that you can print from your laptop. You can use any of the computers in that tech lounge. They're already connected to those printers. So you can just log in and pull up whatever you need to and print from there. You'll need a PIN code. I have access to your PIN codes. It is 5 cents for every black and white copy and 25 cents for every color. Um, if you guys needed to make true just copies, that's obviously done at the copier. It'll still ask you for that PIN code. And then that will also go anytime you do run that up and you make copies of any kind, it'll actually go straight to your agent bill rather than coming out of pocket in the moment. And then the last thing to note with that is that our copiers also, you can scan anything to PDF and email it very easily from them. And that's free. So anytime you need to scan something digitally, you can easily do that. So let me know because that's just, hey, like grab my attention and say, hey, could you come look at the copier with me or help me print this real quick? And I'm happy to do that. So, yep. Yes. Yes. No. Oh, yeah. And I know. And that's also that sometimes that's a little like trickier because it's like, okay, wait, like now I feel like I'm starting back over again, which I totally understand because it's obviously like kind of different in structure. So I completely understand that. But of course, the other great news is when you're on a team, a lot of that stuff is already like kind of taken care of for you. So you don't have to stress it as much. So you end up missing like how to do it as a solo agent, but don't worry, Regina, I got you covered. Just come to me anytime. So I'm always happy to help you guys too. Like just even if like you can stop by my desk at any time. If I need a minute and I can't help you in that moment, I'll tell you. But as I was like, it's pretty rare. I usually am like, yeah, like let's go. Where are we going? So just let me know how I can help you. If you guys need the print drivers added to your laptops, just stop by my office. I can go through that with you, whatever that looks like. What's your other questions? I don't know if you can answer this, but I have my LLCs. Okay. But when I was paid, I was never paid the market. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yep. So in the state of North Carolina, and that's a commission based rule, it's not specific to our firm. You do need to have a firm license in order to be paid through your LLC. So you will need to refer back to the commission to get that squared away. Once you've accomplished and received your firm license, just provide your LLC information to Lynn Davis, who's across the hall from me. She's our MCA. She basically MCA all money. Money in, out. Yep. It's Teresa makes it so easy. Yep. I was gonna say Teresa makes it so easy. She's like money in, money out. That's Lynn. So I'm like that basically sums it up. Yeah. So yes, talk to Lynn. So once you've got the firm license created, you can bring in all your LLC information. She can add it to our system so we can start paying you under that. Yep. 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 So it's 9 to noon and it's Monday through Friday. I know it's a good chunk, but the good news is that we get you all that information in like a month's time. So it helps to kind of fast track it, if you will. And then the other thing I would say is do pay attention to the training calendar because we do start on the 8th this time, which is a Monday. And that's going to be our launch, which is really just kind of like an orientation to Ignite. You guys will pick up specific handouts, but Jess Peg will go over like basically everything of what to expect, go over some other key bits of information as well. So you guys will be in a really good spot. And then the other thing I would say in regards to Ignite is we will have the office is closed for MLK Day. So just make sure that you pay attention to that because you'll see on the calendar that we obviously don't have Ignite that day. It is in person only for our office, but there is an Ignite After Dark schedule that's done through MAPS coaching on like an overarching broad spectrum, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But that's done through MAPS. And so if you use Ignite After Dark, they do Tuesday evenings through Zoom. And when they're doing their Tuesday evening sessions, obviously that's one session a week then. So it's a slower process overall. You're taking it and doing 20 weeks of it essentially rather than doing 4 weeks. So either whatever works best for your business. Again, there is never a wrong answer as long as it's working for you. So just let me know if you want any more information on Ignite After Dark. I can easily send it to you. I'll give you the schedule and the Zoom link. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head where they're at right now, but Ignite also doesn't need to be completed chronologically. So you can jump into it in the middle and then you can come back and get what you missed.
Liz, I do
You scared me.
I'm sorry. I do Ignite. Don't let the voice fool you. I'm joking.
You're good. You're good. And I was like, whoa, I was like, that was scary. You're
Well,
good.
because I do Ignite After Dark.
Yes.
That's what was it? Tuesday. We just finished session 12.
Thank you, Lee. So they're on session 12 right now of 20. I appreciate it.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Oh,
And can I
you got me,
also
girl.
can I tell whoever is there that I'm dual career, and so I'm a teacher, so I'm able to come on now because we're on break. That's why I'm here. But I like the Ignite every week because it gives me a week to digest what they said.
That's true. That's true. It really, I think it's a good opportunity to, again, depending on learning styles, right? Like everyone's a little bit different. So we got some visual learners, some auditory, and then same with kind of, do we want to do it at a slower pace where there's more time to digest a lot of the information? Or do we want to kind of take it all in at once, which is a great point, Lee. Thank you. When you are in person, I will say we do have our own agents who are leading those. So it gives you an opportunity to build relationships with some of those agents. But that's really the only difference I could probably discern other than the pacing of it.
Oh, one more. We are online with people from all over the country at night,
Yeah.
though. So we get more networking and referral, and
Perfect.
just different. It's a little different. I've been in person too,
Yeah.
Ignite in the office. I've actually got a chance to do both. Um,
Yay.
so it varies. I got about I only have I think 6 or 7 left.
Good. Awesome. Well, yay. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Way to get it. Way to get it done.
It
Yes.
didn't seem as long. It really
Yeah.
didn't.
Well,
I thought,
good. Good.
yeah, the
I'm
idea that
glad.
the one a week sounded, and I've been doing it since the end of August.
I was going to say,
Yes, but
good. Well,
it's been,
yay.
yeah, because I have to do still the T group
Yep.
and my other coaching, so like it works out perfect
Good.
with my dual career. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's perfect.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Lee.
You're
And
welcome.
yes, to answer your question, Regina, you can do both if that makes the most sense for you. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a-okay as well. So if it makes more sense for you to kind of do a combination, you're more than welcome to do it. You just be mindful, of course, of the pacing is different. So you might just want to make sure that what they're yeah, but I was gonna say make sure you're getting the right stuff over Ignite After Dark based off what you needed from in person, things like that. But you're of course welcome to kind of do a good blend like Lee did, because if that works best for you, we want again take advantage of whatever's gonna work to propel you forward. And then so I will share just the last little thing. It was that was your last question. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, I am not stopping until we've got all the questions answered. Okay, so the last thing I'm just gonna show you real quick is we're gonna go to mykw.kw.com. .kw.com. I know it sounds silly, right? It gets me every time. So when you guys arrive at this page, what it's going to ask is for your login credentials. That's going to be the login credentials that we all created together when we met. The same ones that you're using anytime you log into KW Command. So I'm going to go ahead and type in mine just to make it easy. And I promise this really will only take a couple minutes. So once you guys arrive into mykw.kw.com, the real thing that I'm going to point out, again, plenty you guys can dive into on here. Briefly, you guys can view reports in regards to like your production and where you guys are at. There's reports that will generate here after transmittal every month. So you guys know kind of where you rank in the grand scheme of the market center versus like maybe just seeing your year to year and like how you're building your business over time. We also have access at the bottom here under quick links. The white pages, if you click on that, it's an internal search engine for Keller Williams. So if you guys are looking for agents or maybe just their contact information, you're like, man, I met somebody at KW South Park. They were awesome, but I just need their contact information. You can search their name in there and it will generate their profile basically. You'll be able to get their contact information very easily. And this is also great because you can kind of work backwards, if you will. And you could just say, hey, I'm just looking for someone in Fresno, California. And then agents in Fresno, California will populate. So it's a cool tool because you can use it dependent on the criteria you have or what you're looking for, but it will show you only KW agents. So again, somebody you know is a great agent. And then the last thing is now actually the thing I promised I was going to show you is the intranet. So under quick links, it's that bottom left. It's the MC350 intranet. If you click on it, it's going to show you again, quick little library here of any posted information that I have either posted myself, other agents have posted, basically any announcements that have been made. And you'll see it's a good blend. And then if you see like, okay, I know Liz posted something about like a CMA class, but I just can't find it. You guys can hit the search button. You can search CMA and then any old posts, even if they're not showing here, should populate for you so you can see where that is. But for your sake, guys, when doing an email blast to everybody, you'll just hit this add a post button in red. You guys, this will be grayed out up top for you, but you guys will be able to do the associate post option. Yep. So when you click on associate post, the first thing that will show up is it's going to ask you to select a channel. Selecting the channel does not change anybody's ability to view your information unless they're specifically filtering through for that channel. That would be the only reason that your information didn't show for them. So you can kind of just classify it a little bit better based off of these categories. Agent announcement is going to be the most general. So if nothing else really feels like it applies, go ahead and hit agent announcement. And then when you guys have arrived into the agent announcement field here, it's going to open up for you to create your post. So the first thing is that post title. You have up to 100 characters of a title that you can create. This is going to come through as the subject line of your email. So that's important to know. Obviously, you want to make sure it's something that covers what you're trying to reach out to everyone about. You guys can easily add a link as well if you're trying to tie in any links to the email. You can also upload files here. You can upload, I believe it takes JPEGs and PDFs. So you guys can upload those as well. And then under the post blurb here, you have 190 characters. This is going to come through the body as the body of your email. So we've got post titles, your subject line, post blurb is going to be the body of your email. And then obviously 190 characters is kind of short and I run into that all the time. So if you need to add more detail or more information, if you just click on this little in red right below it, add full message, it'll allow you to type freely as much information as is necessary. So that's a good opportunity. The biggest thing that I usually recommend is basically when this email comes through to you guys, you'll see like, here's Liz's title, here's her post blurb, and then you'll see a blue button at the bottom that says view full post. So that's where all of this second set of information would live, is if they click on that blue button. So what I usually try to do, and you're welcome to implement this or not, is if I can't fit everything into my post blurb, I end it with a quick like little sentence that just says see full post. So people know that there's more information to see about what I'm sharing. And that way they know they have to click on that button in order to get it. I just would hate for anyone to miss anything just because they didn't know they had to click that button. But so once you've got everything together and you're happy with it, all you have to do is hit publish post, guys. It will now live in that little library that we opened up to of posted information, and it will slowly over the next couple minutes, it's going to be blasted out to every agent in our office as well as leadership team. So everyone will get your email straight to their KW email based off of what you've shared. So again, just a super, super easy way for you guys to exert minimal effort and get a really resounding result. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that this existed because Facebook is great. It's an awesome opportunity to connect with everyone. But sometimes if not enough people are interacting with your post or somebody, or like me, for example, is posting a lot of stuff that day, your stuff might get kind of dropped down into the feed and somebody may gloss over it. And I would hate for that to happen. So if you really, really, really need to get eyes on something because, hey, I have an open house and I need someone to host it, or hey, I'm looking to help somebody, you guys can send that out very easily and everyone will receive it via email. So that truly is now all that I am going to bother you guys with today, I promise. Um, does anybody have any additional questions based off of this portion of what we reviewed? No, not in person. Anybody online? We're feeling good. Okay, that's a good sign, guys. Okay, so without further ado, thank you guys so much. I know I went really late today and I'm so sorry. But I really, really, really appreciate your time. I know with us being so close to the holidays, it's kind of difficult sometimes to carve out that time or to want to carve out that time, I guess, is another great way to put that. And I just appreciate you all for being here. So thank you for that. I hope you guys got some information out of this. And of course, I know it was a lot, but if you just take some time, kind of walk yourself back through what we've done over the next several weeks, you'll feel a little bit better, I'm sure, about where to locate information. But especially if you guys have questions, you're realizing you forgot where something was, just send me an email. I'm happy to rewalk you through how to find different things on there. So just keep me posted on how I can help you guys. But other than that, I will let you free so you guys can enjoy your holidays and hopefully get to be with loved ones as quickly as possible.
Thank
Yeah, of
you.
course. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have
Bye.
a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Merry Christmas, all the things. Happy Boxing Day. Happy New Year. All the things. Of course. All right, I'm gonna stop this and I'm just gonna